Yo, y'all already know what it is, man. It's Mike Donald, man. TDFA, they done fucked around, man. Yo, we got a very, very special guest up in the building, man. I'm going to give him a real proper introduction, man. This man right here from 1993 to 2004 had an outstanding amateur boxing career, 2 silver glove national championships, Junior Olympics, national and international, 3-time Golden Glove state, and 2 Golden Glove national champions. In 2004, participated in the Olympic trials. That same year, like Mortal Kombat, flawless victory, you know what I mean? And went professional. And throughout his career, 15-0, 7 knockouts before having a boxing mishap. You know, and he's still fighting and still winning, man. Mr. Lorenzo Reynolds. What's up, bro?
Thank you, bro. I like that introduction. That was proper.
Is that a good one?
You got it. You got it.
I tried.
We ain't got a beef after the show. That was good, bro.
So man, what's up, man? What's good with Mr. Lorenzo Reynolds, man?
Bro, I'm in a great place in life. I'm in a great place in my career. I'm actually coming to you today from London. I'm out in London, England. This is my first time out in the UK, but I'm excited to be here. I'm working with undefeated heavyweight Jermaine Franklin. He's getting ready to fight Dylan White on November 26th.
November 26th.
For almost 3 weeks, and so about 2 more weeks left. So just getting used to this UK soil, the people, the energy, and man, we're excited to just step forth and do what we came to do.
So right now at this point, man, so you doing boxing training right now. So we're gonna mash the gas. What I like to do is do a timeline, a proper introduction, man. But a lot of people don't know. I mean, I just read off your whole career, man. But a lot of people don't know you or don't give you the right accolades off not knowing. I don't know if they not knowing. But you've been boxing for how long?
Man, I started going to the gym at 8 years old. I got my first amateur fight at 9 years old. So you know, it was in my family, bro, on both sides, because my mother's father was a Golden Glove state champion back in 1961. He was a state, so it was on my mother's side. Then my father, you know, he was a Golden Glove state champion back in 1984, the year I was born. So it was on both sides of my family. So my dad, he grew up in the projects, First Ward Community Center. He boxed the First Ward. So after his career, he started his own gym. And early on, man, I just started, you know, going to the gym with my dad, tagging along. And 9 years old, I finally convinced him to let me try it out. And it was just something about the movements, the patterns. I was just able to pick it up. It was basically passed down, bro. It was in my DNA.
Yeah.
I was just able to, you know, move around the ring, execute a game plan. And by the time I was 11 years old, I went to my first national tournament down in Cincinnati, Ohio. So I went to the national tournament, and then and there, we had a pact. I had a pact with my dad, and that pact was, as long as you keep your grades up, be respectful, I'll let you box. And so after that, I won silver glove national championships. Every year, bro, I was winning.
Yeah.
So I always set my goals high. You know, I always heard about the National Golden Gloves. And so I started, you know, just asking deeper information about it. Like, has Saginaw ever had a National Golden Glove champion? They like, yeah, it's only been one National Golden Glove champion. That was back in 1970, a guy named Elton Woods. And so I'm like, you know what? I'm going to do that. I'm going to be the next Golden Glove national champion. So in 2002, at 18 years old, I went to the National Golden Gloves and won the whole thing. And then I came back that next year to do it again, 2003. So boom, when I win the 2003 National Golden Gloves, that gave me a spot at the 2004 Olympic trials. And so I did
Yeah.
good trials, but it was computer scoring. I ended up losing in the semifinals by 1 point, 10-9, to a guy that later on went on to be a world champion, Lamont Peterson.
Mm-hmm.
We fought twice in the amateurs. I fought Devin Alexander for the Golden Glove, national championship. So, my resume, was full of beating guys that later on went on to win world championships. Was something to be proud of.
Even going on to even from coming from Saginaw, Michigan, man, and you went off, man, to do great things, man. After all your battles you fought, what makes you still love boxing right now to this day?
It ended up being a love-hate thing. And later on, after I turned pro, I'm 15-0. We moving forward. I fought on two of Floyd Mayweather undercards.
Yeah.
After a while, that was going to eventually be the build-up to fight him because we was around the same weight. I was 140 at the time. He was 135. And so when you got that much momentum going forward and you feel like you're a train that's headed to success, right? And so me having an eye injury, I felt like that train was derailed, right? And so after that, man, I hated boxing. I wanted nothing to do with it for a few years. And so I had to go through, just that pain of dealing with injuries happen and, asking myself, okay, what do you really love to do? I knew that I always loved working with people. So a few years after the injury, I got certified for fitness training. And I just was using boxing as a way to work with my clients, but not training boxers yet. And so it took time for me to just process that pain, go through the trauma, even go through depression a little bit. And so a lot of times people be afraid to talk about the times that they went through depression or the times they was in that dark place. But I went through it, bro. I definitely went.
And that's what I was gonna ask you. Like, so even at a young age, man, you never really had a loss, and you just loved a passion for fighting. You know what I mean? So for a person that would kind of like hurt your momentum, man, because you never lost in the ring, like, you know what I mean? So for you to actually take that kind of loss, you know what I mean, outside of, you know what I mean, doing what you love for that kind of loss, I'm sure it probably. But what gave you that dark spot? What gave you light though? Like, you know what I mean?
The thing that gave me light was always feeling like it was something better waiting on me on the other side, right? So I always felt like it was something better. And then I started telling myself, like, God didn't allow me to acquire all these skills and these tools to just sit on them. So that's when I started sharing my gifts. And so I started getting gratification out of it. You know what I mean? Working with clients and they losing weight and working with kids and they learning boxing and the fact that they know that they can protect themselves because they acquired this skill, the confidence. Like I'm literally watching their confidence grow. And
Did you know that you had that in you, like at a young age, man? Like, or like to even go from fighting to coaching? You know what I mean? That's like, you know what I mean? Everybody don't got that.
I seen it at a young age, certain previews of it. And I'm gonna say like going to the boxing gym and they call you in the front to lead the exercises.
Yeah.
So I'm 9 years old and I'm leading the exercise full of a gym that got adults in there too. So just that leadership, like boxing was putting me in the front of people and allowing me to use my voice. You know what I mean? And so teaching people, like it was always fun when somebody new came in the gym and you got to teach them their boxing stand. When you're dealing with boxing, that's the most important thing is balancing out your feet. You know what I mean? And not tripping one over the other and standing a certain way. And so when I was able to teach somebody that, again, it was gratification even way back then. And so once I had my injury and I'm sitting there and I'm thinking, like God really put everything back in my memories of what it felt like to teach, what it felt like to be around people, and what genuinely just made me happy. And so
Man, because if
I
you kind
learned
of
like,
look at it, you already had accomplished all of your dreams at a young age, right?
yeah,
Way before, because I mean, at the start, the point of it, everybody want to make their dad happy, right? You know what I
right.
mean? So you already started doing that, like you already one time, two time, back to back, like, you know what I mean? It was already that, and he's in your corner, you know what I mean? So for you to be there for everybody else up in their corner, man, I think I feel like you don't get the gratification and the flowers that you deserve, man. Because even after, man, if you did any other sport, man, you did it for a lifetime, right? Well, not even. If you did anything else, right, it would be a lifetime, like a lifetime achievement award. You've been that, right?
Right.
But
Right.
a lot of people don't see it that way. I don't understand what's the hold up. You know what I mean? It's
Mm-hmm.
like they could give you your accolades or they could read it and move on. But this whole point about this show, man, they done fucked around. You know what I mean? And it's like it give you something, man. It give you something. That's what TDFA represent, man. It give you something to like. You can't say who they is, but you know what I mean? You should never. But it'll put you up in a position of doing right, man. So with this other question, man, what keeps you so humble? Cause you're a humble dude. Like you don't, you know what I mean? You've been humble, man, and you know what I mean, but you stay grounded through everything. What makes it like that you just know how to talk to different walks of life, man, and just still stay grounded and humble?
Man, I have my father to thank for that the most. I can remember being a kid and my father have friends, and some of them was homeless, or some of them wasn't, standing on their own too. But
Mm-hmm.
whoever he went around, he always treated everybody the same, and he'd
Right.
be like my friend. And so it was just something about, what I'm saying, him showing that example. I always felt like humbling myself was just the life to live. And what I'm saying, not only that, but when it comes to fighting and stuff, anybody can get knocked out if you hit them in the right spot. So I never wanted to walk around and feel like I wanted people to fear me. You know what I'm saying? I would rather love over fear. I always want to be respected though. I give
Mm-hmm.
respect. And man, just flat out being thankful, bro. When you thankful, you don't have to walk around with hostility and being angry. You good energy overall. When it
Yeah.
comes to competing and training fighters, I love to win. I'm a winner. And
Yeah.
so that's the mentality I have when it comes to fighting and training fighters. But when it comes to life and dealing with people, it's all about reaching people. And I
Mm-hmm.
just feel like when you act out in love, you become a net, right?
Mm-hmm.
With a net, you catch way more fishes with a net than you do with a single line. If you throw the
Yeah.
single line of hate, you're gonna catch one or two fishes. But you throw that net out there, you're gonna get the abundance. And so, man, that's just what I want to do, bro. When it comes
Yeah.
to people, so with my services, I don't just work with fighters. I work with people who want to get in shape. I work with
Yeah.
men, children, all ages. If you big enough to stand up, you big enough to train. So that's what
That's
I like.
good, man. And I appreciate, like, man, it's like they really don't get. Well, I feel like that, and I might be outside looking in, man. But you know, man, it's showing. You know, man. And you out the country, and that's another thing, man. You way out the country right now, man, and you still represent Saginaw, and that's something. I just actually think that they just did an article about you up in the
Riverfront.
Saginaw. Yeah,
So
that's
it's coming, bro. It's a process, but
mm,
it's coming. But sometimes just keeping it 100, you do feel overlooked, or you do feel like opportunities that happen for other people could have happened to you or should have happened to you.
yeah,
And personally, I use it as momentum. Like it's not gonna stop me. If anything, it's gonna make me more hungrier to prove myself or to start it. You know what I'm saying? If the situation was different, maybe the city would have been gave me a gym, but it's not. So what did I do? I saved up my own money and opened my own gym. And so I'm proving that throughout the week, sometimes there's 75 to 100 kids that come in and get
yeah,
trained 3 or 4 times a week, from athletes to children who are being introduced to exercise. And so sometimes you just got to continue to prove yourself, and you got to use any anger you have in you as momentum to move forward. Like the job gonna get done regardless to whatever,
regardless, right?
even if it take my own dime.
Yeah,
Will I appreciate help from the city or from the state? Absolutely. Because
mm,
if I could train 75 to 100 kids on my own off my dime, What happened if donations come in? We'll get a large facility and we could reach more children and they could get this confidence that come through diet and exercise and then knowledge. We perish from what? A lack of knowledge. So if you let them know that you're eating unhealthy and it's going to affect you in school and it's going to affect you if you got too much sugar in you and it's going to affect you if you don't have your rest. If they hearing this from somebody who look like them, somebody who's from the same neighborhood that they from and somebody who they can relate to, they're going to take it in more better. So I still believe in the vision, bro. I had a vision of an immaculate gym for some years that can house up to 100 kids at a time, and it's gonna happen. It's just a matter of time.
And I feel like you gonna get that, man. Time. And another thing, man, be great or be forgotten, right?
Yeah.
What does those words mean to you?
Man, I was in Texas, right? And I don't tell a lot of people this, but when I was in Texas, I actually went to ministry school.
Mm.
And I'm proud of it, bro, because I didn't want to choose a religion because it was passed down to me from my parents. I
Right.
wanted to choose what I wanted to choose for myself. And so I knew that if that was the case, I had to go out and get knowledge and information for myself, right? So I go to ministry school while I'm down there and I get this knowledge and this information, not knowing that it will help me even when I'm training my fighters, because not only do I speak a word into them, I speak the word to them. And it's like a lot of situations that people going through, you can go to scripture and you can say, hey, this person and that person went through this or similar situation, and this is how they got through it. So if they went through their trial and their tribulation, you can go through your trial and your tribulation, and guess what's waiting on the other side of that? Your blessing is waiting on the other side, but only if you can get through it. And so when we talk about that pain that we talked about earlier that I experienced in 2006 from having a career-ending injury and burying, bro, my 40-year-old mother. I'm 22 years old, burying a 40-year-old mother, and I have a career-ending injury. Like, that was a lot of trauma.
Yeah.
It was a lot, but God was with me through it all. And on the other side was me doing what I'm doing now, helping other people, traveling with fighters, living a wealthy lifestyle. And so as I look back, bro, just keeping it 100 with you, I've never been rich, even when I was fighting. Financially, I've never been rich, but I've always been wealthy with experiences. I've always been wealthy with the people who I met. I'm 17 years old in 2001 and got a chance to meet my idol, Muhammad Ali. Like, I ate lunch with Muhammad Ali. I shook his hand. You know what I'm saying? So all this has been wealth. And so sometimes we think wealth is only coming in money, but that's not it. A lot of wealth to come in the places you go, the people you meet, the influence you have. You know what I'm saying? So when they say, I can eat with kings but never lose the common touch, that's being humble. I've ate with kings, but I can also go to a low income housing and eat a peanut butter and jelly sandwich and fit in good with everybody. So that's in my opinion.
And it's like, man, I'm not gonna lie. I told you this before, man. It's like the book of Job, man, with you, man. Like, you know what I mean? It's like you went through so much, man, and people, man, we'll read the Bible, people quote the Bible, but you still, it's about parables and, you know what I mean? It's stories for certain reasons, man. And to me, man, I'm gonna stand on that, man. You is that parable, man. Like, a lot of people don't understand it and won't know, like, you know what I mean? A lot of stuff, man, that you go through, you still fight, man. You know what I mean? You fight every day to just take care of
I believe
everybody, man. And just gonna you keep fighting, man. And I appreciate that. And it's crazy. Like, I had wrote this down, like, don't give up the fight, but it's a given. So it's like proving that that it was meant to bag this interview with you, man. You know what I mean? We grew up with each other, man, and it's like, man, it was always that you was always about business, man, and it's still the same way, man. It's like, what, 20 years? We ain't gonna give out how old we are. Well, it's been a long time, man.
It's
still
a
the
blessing,
same, man. And you still the same.
Like 25, 30 years at this point, but yeah.
But you know what I mean? but it's good, and it's generation after generation, man. And big shouts out to your pops too, man, because he don't get a lot of credit, man, and he's been the same, man. Like,
Man, can I tell you something about this guy, man?
yeah,
In the city of Saginaw, we've had 5 Golden Glove national champions. Over the rich history of Golden Glove boxing, we're talking about 100 years of fighting. Saginaw, Michigan has produced 5 Golden Glove national champions. My
right,
father trained 3 of those national champions. So for a person to train 3 Golden Glove national champions, that says a lot. Not 1, not 2, but 3. Because early on, a lot of people was like, okay, he had a huge amount of success with his son, but that's only because that's his son, and he spent more time with his son than other fighters. So boom, he proved it with the heavyweight that we got here, Jermaine Franklin. Jermaine Franklin won the National Golden Gloves. And then after Jermaine Franklin won it, we had Morris Young to win the Golden Glove National Championship. So that
yeah,
alone is history making. To have professional fighters, to take Jermaine to 21-0, soon to be 22-0. We just trained who you had on your show, the U.S. Uh, national heavyweight champion Robert Sams,
yeah,
Golden State champion, and now our first U.S. heavyweight champion. And so we are, walking, talking history. But sometimes, like you said, people don't give them flowers until you at your funeral, and then they say, "Oh wow, this person did some amazing things." And so, I often, as much as I can, try to give people their flowers while they're alive because it's needed, man. Just that appreciation. You never know. Even strong people have moments of weakness as well, and
yeah.
sometimes appreciation will go a long way. So definitely
It's
appreciate that, man.
for sure, man. And
Hey,
is there a little you out there?
I inherited some good things from that guy, even this bald head. You know what I'm saying?
Hey, man, but you stayed grounded, man, and that's good, man, and that speak volume, man. And everything, like Job, like I said, it got to come tenfold, man. Everything that they took, man, and you
Yeah,
still fighting, man. But
yeah.
it's got to come back tenfold or even more, man. You know what I mean? And who's
And
to
so
say,
I
like,
think I made
what
a
is?
dance around the course in a little bit, but that's what be great to be forgotten really is.
Yeah,
Like life is gonna do what life does, and that's
yeah,
bring you right.
yeah,
And what you do with that pain will determine whether you're great
yeah,
and you're in the history books or you're remembered, or after a while people will forget because you don't have no true legacy, right?
yeah,
So what did you do with your pain? Again, life gonna do what life do, and that's
yeah.
bring you. What did you do with it? Did you spend the rest of your life bitter and upset, and you didn't use your gifts, or did
And
you? You know
and
what?
it's like
I'm a,
proverb, like don't lean on your own understanding. Like, did you
yeah.
know it all? Like, you know what I mean? Like a
Mhm.
lot of times, man, when I was back when I was like, man, lost, man, I was just leaning on my own, what I thought was my own understanding, without
I
trusting
like.
in nothing. You know what I
I
mean?
like.
And
Mhm.
you got to think about it. Like after so long, man, I just, man, like I've been doing wrong for a long time. You know what I mean?
Right.
To like start doing right, man, for a little bit of time, and it got me a long way. You know what I mean? And it
Just
could
a
get
little
me
bit.
even further, man. So
Yeah.
that's why, like, that's who that's how they messed around. You know what I mean? So,
Wow.
uh, I mean, we just here, and I just want to ask you, man, is it a little you out there, right? And what do you consider a little you?
Man, that's a good question. I would say a little me is any and every client that I work with, and they have that fight in them when they feel like giving up. That fight in them when they feel like continuing to go, continuing to go forward when they don't feel like it. That's a little of me. A little of me would definitely be my son. I have a 13-year-old son, Lorenzo Jr. That's my guy. Like
Yeah,
he's he's he liked boxing, man, but I didn't want him to have a lot of fights early on. So he's had 3 amateur fights. He's 3-0. We're just taking our time with him. One fight
yeah,
a year. You know what I'm saying? Letting him learn. He's good at basketball. Respectful kid. On the honor roll. Far from perfect, but he's a passionate young man, and I'm proud to be his father. I have my daughter, bro, is about to be 18 years old on Christmas Eve. So that's definitely a little me. She's in her senior year in high school.
Yeah.
But I want to take the credit for this next thing I'm about to say. I really can't because this young lady goes to high school half of the day and then she takes some college classes.
Oh
So
man.
when she graduates, she gonna have some college credits behind her. So maybe my passion that I have for boxing and for sports, maybe she just use it for academics. So,
And
but
that's good, man. It's so a
credit for, but that
whole family plethora of just athletes, man. You know what I mean? Generation after generation, man. And that's good, man. That's good. That's a good start. And I tell you, man, that's a good foundation because all of y'all are humble, man. And you've been all across the world, man. You are across, you know what I mean? You're across the pond right now, man. So like what made you start your dream back and just come back? Because you know what I mean, you know what I mean, the earth is our turf, but what made you just say, man, you know what, I'm gonna go back to SAG? Like that's still you know, everybody couldn't do that. Like, you know what I mean? To actually come back, you know what I mean, and then stand on and still be there and say, hey man, come on, I'm finna do this. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? A lot of people wouldn't do it, to
I
be honest.
think I think it's important to be up under good leadership,
Mm-hmm.
right? And so even though I am a leader, you know what I'm saying, to a degree, and with some things I'm a leader, but in other areas I need leadership. And so for me, it was good leadership in Saginaw with my father being there, with my spiritual leader being there, Pastor Torres Simpson, who took me under his wing and just showed me some things about life, about business, and just about being a man of God. Like again, I'm far from perfect, but I'm always striving to be better. And so when Jermaine first turned pro, his stepfather was like, "Hey, Lorenzo, you the missing link to the team." And so the first time he said it, I heard him, but I really wasn't hearing him. And we know the difference between heard and hearing. Like I
Yeah,
wanted him at the time because I really wanted to focus on coming back. And
right.
so time went on, like they just kept saying it, like, "Hey, the team gonna be complete when you come." So it was that, and it was business opportunities, and it was just wanting to work with the community that I came from. I'm like, I need to start there. Eventually, I definitely, plan on branching out with certain things, but I want to always have something or a piece of me in Saginaw. You know what I'm saying? Just because that's home.
Yeah.
You people that feel like it's okay to forget about home, and if that's what worked for them, I never put nobody down for their own thoughts. I always feel like I want to keep something there or show my face, or you know what I'm saying, because
Yeah.
that's where I came from. And I feel like if you go back and you transparent and you real and you operate in love, you're gonna help somebody else to come back too. So
And you definitely
you got
doing
to
that.
work for you at the end of the day, man. And so be great to be forgotten is about leaving a legacy.
Mm-hmm.
uh, that legacy for me started in Saginaw, so it's
Right.
like, why not keep something there, or like I said, go back there. So even if I did decide to move tomorrow, I'm gonna make sure that I send money back. I'm gonna
Yeah.
make sure I go back and visit. I'm gonna make sure that I plant seeds there.
Right.
Everybody feel the same way, or if some people feel the same way, it'll be a lot better. Like plant some seeds there.
Mm-hmm. And that's where it was a topic, man. I was watching the Bad Boys podcast.
Mm,
Shout out to Bugsy, and that was a question that they asked, which was a good question, man. Like even if some of the athletes was to put back up in the city of Saginaw, like who would be the, like, you know what I mean? If they opened up the Civic 10, or if they opened up, who would actually run it? You know what I mean? Or who would be the front runner for it? And that was a good topic. And then I thought about it. And first place person I thought of was you. You know what I mean? Like
I appreciate
simple, but somebody needs to. That was a good topic. And I'm glad that they brought that up because it was a topic that needs to be brought up. You know
yeah.
what I mean? And
Yes.
if we could vote for everything else, man, if we could come together, man, for the right reasons, man,
Mm,
it'll be right, man. And you know what I mean? uh we come together for all the wrong ones though, you know what I mean? And
easily.
and
Easily.
I'm guilty of it too, and that's why I'm here, man. I'm standing on business, and you know what I mean, I'm coming like this, man. It's new. I'm a firm believer, man. If you clean up, I mean, if you mess up, you clean it up, you know what I mean? and I like, you know what I mean? I'm guilty, you know what I mean? So this is the forefront for it. This damn near like community service, man. Somebody got to hear something, and I hope that somebody heard something today that's gonna help somebody. You know what I mean? And you know what I mean? It just got to be that way, man. And
I'm glad you
I
said that
appreciate.
because that's one of my secrets too. I feel like you have to use, and we said a lot of times we'll say it in this way: keep that same energy.
Yeah,
And our thing is, yeah, keep that same energy, but just using it in a different way. The same energy that you use to party, the same energy that you use for negative things, use that same passion and that same energy for something positive, and watch the results you get.
yeah,
How is it that you was the loudest one at the car party, or the one at
yeah,
kind of party, but now all of a sudden, when it comes to praising God or it comes to stepping up for what's right, now you quiet.
yeah,
Now we can
yeah,
hear Cotton. No, we need you to keep that same energy.
yeah.
So the same energy that I had when I was a fighter in the ring, that's the energy that I give to my fighters. I actually get out there and run with them and talk that talk with them and quote the Bible with them and cuss them out if that's what's needed. Like what we need to do. Let's use
Yeah.
this energy, that same passion,
And
and
even like I
use that.
saw, like if a
What be
picture is worth more than 1,000 words,
mm-hmm.
Rob Sims won, man.
Okay.
That clap, right? You know what I mean? Hey, that's famous. I saw you like this, and I'm like, I'm looking at the picture, and I'm like, man, I'm proud of Rob, but that clap was for, you know what I mean? That clap was for all the right reasons for you too, man. Like, and I just saw it, like, cause you know what I mean? I know it's just like, man, so that right there was enough for me, man. Like that picture worth more than 1,000 words. You ain't have to say it, but I already saw it, man.
Oh, that's good. You picked up on that, bro. I like that. I like that a lot. But
Yeah,
yeah, it meant everything, man. We put in some long nights for that fight
yeah.
because Rob having to work a job, it was certain times that I wanted to get in the gym that I couldn't. So I had my clients throughout the day, but we had to get in there late night. So we in the gym late night, 10, 11, whatever it took. Like, whatever we got to do, bro, we got to grind.
Right.
And like the thing I liked about Kansas, I wish it was everywhere, but in between the rounds, the state of Kansas will show you the score of the fight. And so
Wow.
after the fight was over, like we knew the score and we knew that we had won, but to just hear it, bro,
Yeah.
hear it in your ear there, and the new, it was those words right there, bro. It was just, it's a feeling that I don't even have the vocabulary to explain why
Yeah.
somebody else win. Like his win became my win because
Well,
part of it.
you finna actually witness again. So let me ask you this before I get to this question. What's new for Mr. Lorenzo Williams? What's next?
Man, what's next? We got business. We got business here in the UK. Like it's a sacrifice to be here. You know what I'm saying? It's a sacrifice to be away from my clients. It's a sacrifice to be away from my 85-year-old granny who we, take turns going to see her. It's a
Mm-hmm.
sacrifice to be away from my children, bro. It's a huge sacrifice to be out here for these weeks.
Mm-hmm.
So we ain't come to play. We didn't come to this big stage. Like, um, nobody in the city of Saginaw has fought on a stage like this to this magnitude yet. So for Jermaine Franklin to be on this stage, like that means a lot. But when we
Right.
got called, one of the first things I told him is that God don't make no mistakes. You
None.
got the call because you deserve it. But I don't want to just. I'm not the type of person that's just gonna get happy to say I went there. I had some guys and know some people who be like, man, I'm so happy that I went to the Nationals. That ain't my testimony. That
Right.
I Nationals. My testimony is I won it. And
Mm-hmm.
so all the passion, with all the energy, with all the desire, with all the fight, with all the pain, with all the trials, the tribulations, the gifts, the good, the bad, the ugly, everything that's in me, that's how bad I want to win. I
Mm-hmm.
can't sleep at night sometimes because I want to win just that bad. And so you
Yeah.
put that into preparation. And so I'm excited to be here. Don't get me wrong, but we got business to take care of. It ain't over until we go home as winners. And so, that's what we're doing, man. So we gonna get this win, and then when we get done with this, we'll decide about expanding our fitness program back in Saginaw when we get back. It's some offers on the table, and I'm excited about the offers.
Right.
Don't quite talk about them all because I gotta, figure out which direction we want to go. I even have some offers in some different cities, so we're gonna pray about it. We're gonna seek God. We're gonna pray about it, and we're gonna do what makes sense financially as well, because you gotta balance everything out. But I'm enjoying these opportunities that's in front of me, bro. So
Man, and
I
you
don't know
need to.
quite. I'm narrowing it in on the decision that I'm gonna make, but I do know whatever I do, we're gonna be great and never forgotten, because
Never.
how to go one way, bro, and that's giving it 100%.
That's you always have been, man. So any promotions, anything you want to throw out there before we end the segment, man?
Man, I'm excited. Good friend of mine, Pernell Gates, out of Grand Rapids.
Mm-hmm.
We do a podcast on Saturdays, and it's called From His Perspective Podcast. We do that on IG, From His Perspective Podcast. And
Okay.
it's not sports related. We just
Mm-hmm.
get on there and we have topics and we give it from a man's perspective. Sometimes we do touch on sports, but it's just, two brothers having a conversation. We had different guests come on there. I'm excited about that, bro. And just excited for whatever else God throw my way. But if people could check out that show, support it, follow it on IG, From His Perspective Podcast. You
Okay.
just have a good dialogue on different subjects that we need to talk about. You know what I'm saying? And with everything else, it's all about coming to a positive solution. A lot of times we don't know things just because we don't sit down and talk. I'm excited for your platform because you sit down and you talking to people, and the listeners gonna get a chance to walk away with something greater than what they started with throughout that day. All because we had a conversation. Communication is a powerful thing. So
Yeah, you sure right, man. And I always said it, man. Communication, rule the nation, man. And we haven't communicated in years, man. But it's still that the knowing, man, that once we back kick it, man, we still grounded, man. And you know what I mean? Like, and that's what I want to give up to you too, man. Like, man, you still fighting, man, and you still coaching, man. You gave me a little hope and a little foundation, even after these years. I've been knowing that you, man, you still been fighting. You've been doing your thing, man. And to see that you still at it, man. A lot of people ain't make it, you know what I mean? And just to see like how far we came, man. And this is your flowers right here. If it ain't from nobody else, man, I'm throughout the city, you know what I mean? It's for me, man. So I appreciate that, man. We a childhood, you know what I mean? Like, we grew up, like, you know what I mean? And you still the same, man. It ain't too many people that I could say that about, man. And shouts out to Jermaine Franklin. What is the fight on?
we fighting November 26th live on the Zone, the 989 Assassin live on the Zone, November 26th. So we're excited about that. And we definitely give Robert Sims his flowers for becoming Saginaw's Michigan first U.S. heavyweight champion.
Yeah.
So again, bro, we super excited. It's one thing to know that you're doing good work. It's another thing to actually see the results of it through guys that's winning. And we're going to keep them winning ways going.
You got a good regime, man. And I'm proud of y'all, man. Big shout out to your pops, too, man. He don't get a lot of credit that he deserves, man. And there it is right there, too. That's your pop. I mean, that's your flowers for your pops, too, man. Jesse Addison, man. That's good work, man. He stay up in your corner. Y'all stay up in each other's corner, man. And I appreciate the interview, bro. And just, man, keep being great, because you ain't going to never be forgotten, man. You know what I mean?
Bro, and I touch and agree with you for continued success on your platform, bro.
All right. I appreciate it, bro. And everybody just stay prayed up, man. Y'all continue, even if y'all don't support, try to support, start supporting. Ain't nothing wrong, man, with getting and pushing positive in the right direction, man. We could all turn this around. TDFA, man, I fucked around, man. I got your boy Lorenzo Reynolds, man. The champ still, man, in our book, man. Thank you, champ. I appreciate it, man. Y'all go ahead, hit the like button and subscribe, man. Thank you a lot, bro.
Man, be blessed, G.